Hello and welcome, I'm Arumba, thank you for joining me. Let's play some more Cities Skylines. So this is the campaign that we've been doing live on Twitch, but I'm actually playing it offline right now because I was playing it earlier and I made some changes to the city and I didn't want to start streaming just so that I could talk about the changes. I have let the game run for about 3 in-game years because I was just like studying traffic and trying to figure out a little bit about how all of these different info views work. And one of the things that I did is I've actually keybound all of the info views, which is really quite handy because you can open them and close them, and then the game doesn't do that thing where you click on it and then you press escape because that's the logical button to press, and then it goes to the pause menu, which is stupid. So now I can go like EE to see wind, or I used Shift 1 through 5, Q through T, A through G, and Z through B. So it's a 4x5 grid of shortcut keys. I feel like it should be just added to the base game. So, hey, Colossal Order, if you're listening, just something to consider. They're not used by anything. So, right, what else did I change? Well, first off, as I say that, I had that thing open. I downgraded all of the service roads that were for garbage to the to service roads, to 2-lane gravel roads. They're slower, but they're also cheaper, and more importantly, it like prevents the cars from wanting to take that road. Because I think what they do is they look at the distance, kind of like a GPS would. They look at the distance, and then they compare how far they have to go versus the speed of the roads, and then decide which road is the shortest. Which one's going to be the fastest route for them to get there, not necessarily the shortest distance. And so, you can't have gravel roads that go elevated like this. So some of the roads are still paved, but it's such a small difference in speed that it doesn't affect the garbage trucks at all. But it just kind of prevents anybody else from using these service roads, which I think is pretty handy. The reason that there's cars here is they work there, I think. Same thing with the buses. They don't need to have any kind of fancy roads. Something else that I did is there is a policy. Let's see, policies was... I had a button for it. There it is. Policies. I passed this city planning policy, high-tech housing. Turns homes into much cooler smart homes to raise land value around them, slightly increases the land value. And the thing I've finally figured out is when it says upkeep for what looks like a cent symbol to me, residential per building, it's actually talking like $4. This one has the 2 little lines, this one has 1 line, but it's $4. You're paying $4 per building. So it's pretty expensive. I would like to see a breakdown of the actual amount being spent on policies for each type. But right now we're spending 20 grand a week on policies, and most of that is coming from the high-tech housing policy or city planning feature, whatever it is. But what ended up happening is basically as soon as I passed it, almost all of the level 4 houses upgraded to level 5 because the land value, and you'll have to forgive me, I don't actually know my own shortcuts yet, the land value skyrocketed as all of these houses got really valuable, and basically everything that was level 4 went to level 5, and then once it was level 5, it pushed into the level 4. And now, when we look at the levels, we can see that pretty much all of these residential houses are the darkest shade of green. There's a couple here that are almost there, and that's actually because of education. It's not because of land value that they can't increase. Although actually this one is value of land. But I'm guessing like it's a chain reaction type thing. Once we get, say, this one to upgrade based on the education, it'll increase nearby land value, and then this one can increase, and then it just kind of continues to spread. So, we've got 3 city units that look pretty good as far as layout. This one's all kind of crazy, but I don't really want to change it because it would just piss people off. So yeah, what else has changed? I did some sort of figuring and, facts and figures, trying to figure out exactly which power source is the most efficient. And I did see that, like for instance, Quill had made a hydro dam and was able to get 1,600 megawatts out of it. Unfortunately, I do not have any kind of terrain that could support that much valuable water. Like I could get, I think like somewhere around here, I could get 100 or so. But the break-even point is like 430, 420 megawatts until it's better than solar. So for us, right now, solar is the most efficient, and we're going to keep on building solar and go from there. There's no reason to destroy these other ones. They're not that much worse. There'd be no purpose to that. But I also figured out that there's absolutely 0 purpose to these water treatment plants. Like, 0 purpose at all. Don't want to pump raw sewage into the bodies of water? You can build water treatment. It costs $640 a week. which is twice as much as the water drain pipe. It also costs 15,000 to build versus 2,500. And it's louder, 15 versus 10. It provides the exact amount, well, roughly the exact same amount of drain capacity, 160 versus 120, but it uses more power as well. Like, it's just, there's no, like, unless you really don't like seeing the brown in the water, which I don't really care about that much, there's no point to it. I don't care about brown water, do you? Like, they're expensive. We've got 4 of these things. They cost like 2,400 bucks. These 3 are like 1,000. It's just silly. Like, unless they add something to the game later on where there's an actual negative side effect to having the water polluted, as long as you build your pumps upstream of the downstream, then who cares? It makes no difference at all. So anyway, what do we want to work on in this video? The other thing I was looking at a lot is like the import-outport, outside connections. I spent a lot of time looking at this map mode, and it's interesting because the when you have the color mapped on like this, you can see like this guy is exporting forestry products, right? He's importing forestry products though as well, and sometimes you can actually see, what are we looking for? Yeah, you can actually see the color-coded trucks as well. So you're importing forestry products to original wood products. So you're going from one region to another. And to do that, he's got to go on the highway, all the way over there, and then into there. And since these are 2 regions that are kind of connected, we could put a train connection here, which would actually probably help, although they could take the train that's already there. Also, we're playing on patch 1.0.5, by the way, which is supposed to alleviate the excessive number of trains problem. We'll see if it actually cleans up a little bit over time, since I did just load the save in and actually wasn't playing on 1.0.5 when I let the game run for a couple of years. We also have tons of money, so that's nice, but we only have 60,000 people, and I want to get that number up a lot higher. So, how do we want to do that? Well, first off, we should probably just build more commercial and more industrial. Well, we do have access to some ore here, and I did already buy this region. We could start up a business doing the ore business. Ore, I believe, is quite profitable. Moderately increased ground pollution and electricity consumption, moderately increased tax income. It's non-renewable though, so something worth considering. I think we'll go ahead and put in a little bit of an ore industry over here. Let's do this. We're gonna go with right off this highway. Why don't we just scrap this intersection? I really would like a bigger brush tool for the bulldozer. I've also created a couple of my own interchanges, which don't actually have pictures on them, which is annoying. It just uses pure highways instead of the loops, instead of the highway on and off ramps. So this one, notice how it doesn't have the connections between them, and then this one actually does have the connections. I'm not sure yet. I haven't actually experimented with it to see if having the excessive connections is a good thing or a bad thing, so we're gonna go with this one. See if we can connect those in a little bit closer to the train. Oh, that's annoying. It's going to make me go kind of far from over there. Well, we could just go straight to it. That works. There's a little bit of a curve to it, but it's not terrible. And then these ones, I think we will make them nice and kind of curvy, so that they're not too horrendously ugly. I'm getting a little bit better at trying to make them like kind of match each other. It's not easy though. Alright, so got that power line right there for them to clip their way through. That's sweet. And now we have our access to a nice little industrial zone. So why don't we build them like this? These can go directly in, but how do we want to do that? First off, let's put some guide rails in. So I'm thinking like that's 10 units off. I don't know. I haven't really thought this through, like how I'd like to make these connections work. I kind of like how these have worked. They're not terrible, they're not really the best, but this should actually probably just be a highway, direct into highway connection. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to use this thing as the guide. But then I want this thing to actually... There's got to be an easy way to, like, make it exactly pretty. That's all I want. I just want it to look exactly pretty. That's 10 by 10, so if I connected that, is it going to be exactly pretty? Yeah, I'd say it's pretty exactly pretty. Okay, cool. So, let's see. So let's say we got businesses in here. Any reason to make these one way? Probably not. Although this does end up being one way, so it should certainly be a one-way street here. Oh god, I just got rid of my guide rail. Oh, it's miserable. Well, it looks like it kind of got back in the right spot, at least. You come in, you go that way, that's good. I think we'll leave both directions. I don't want to force them all to go one way. I'd like them to kind of have their choices. I wonder if it'd be terrible to actually just have them merge and make a four-way intersection there. Because technically, two intersections has got to be worse than... Yeah. Two's worse than one, right? What if we go directly highway? That is not a highway. Could you please just let me merge in a nice, pretty way, maybe? What if we did this? Let's do a slight curve out. Like we'll go... Ah! Alright, I'm having problems with the road tool. It's not working exactly the way that I want it to. Oh, that is so hideous. But as far as that connection, let's like take a look at the connection. If we did have two highway sections connect like this, that would flow, I think, pretty well. Although the thing is that it's when they make these sharp right turns, they slow down a lot. You kind of want them to go like straight, because then they can go full speed. And there actually is no light here. So this would actually probably work pretty well if we made this into a one-way, and then just made the whole thing into a loop. I think that would work out pretty well. We just got to decide, like, how to make this connect in at this right angle. It's close to a right angle as possible, actually. I want to get my guides back in place. Alright, so I need you to be a highway. Let's go out by another 10 units. Another 10 units. And we'll connect the highway to each of those. Then we're going to delete each of those. And then we're going to one-way road to there. And then we can finish the highway. Well, it's not going to give me like a direct fixed point, but that at least is symmetrical, which is very important, as you well know. Alright, so we're going to have to destroy these roads now. There's, of course, no way to reverse them. Unless, you know what, they patched the game. Let's see if they actually listened and they updated it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. It wasn't just me. I mean, there was a lot of people like Quill and me and you know, Quill and me, who were both saying they need to fix that. Alright, so it's one way going in there, one way going that way, one way this way, and then one way to here. And then I think the rest can be two-way, but like this outer loop is designed so you come in off the highway, and then you're in. With no sharp turns. Or maybe it'd be better to just allow them to have sharp turns, but going in the opposite direction. Yeah, I think I would. Yep. I'm sorry I can't make up my mind. There's lots of decisions to be made here. You don't understand how much thinking is involved with this. It's a lot. The amount of thinking is a lot. So to avoid the right-handed intersection, like the sharp rights, let's just do more highway. And kind of go from like there to there. And from here to here. So what's the purpose of this, really? I guess the idea is that if they're coming in and they want to go right, they don't have to make a sharp right. Or sorry, sharp right turn. Like that. If they're coming in and they want to go left, they can make a sharp left. It might be a bit redundant, but I guess I'm done messing with it because it's been far too long that I've spent on this one little project. We have quite a bit of industry over here. I hope I actually built it on top of the natural resource. Ah, it's supposed to be a little bit further back. Alright, let's get a little bit of power in from somewhere. Oh, that's elevated. Just run that over there. I have so much money now that it doesn't even matter. Like, money is pretty limitless at this point. And it's not because I'm cheating or anything, it's just... You reach that point where if you let the game run for a little bit, you end up with tons of money. Alright, so we got water and power over here. And we need to do a district. So, we'll take our district tool and we'll make this whole region into a nice little district. Maple Heights doesn't seem like a very fitting name. let's check and make sure that that all kind of does fall within the natural resource. It's kind of sparse over here, but I don't really want to mix the industries, so we'll still make it into a all ore industry area. And then we'll do some zoning. We'll zone the interior first. See how that does. And I do think that a connection between regions could be good. Like, it couldn't hurt. It's not like anyone on the highway is going to come into the industrial region, go through another industrial region, and then, like, you know, use it as a shortcut. So anybody that wants to get from here to, say, over here, not that they really would, the ore industry to the wood industry, it's just very unlikely they're going to do that. But we should create maybe a connection over here. We use these two right here and actually connect across that way. I think it would help them out quite a bit. What's that? Generation plant. Alright. This is going to be the last thing I want to do in this video before we take a short break. Let's go ahead and kill a building. Okay, so we got highway in, highway out. And we're going to kind of curve it just a little bit. Pretty sharp curve, actually. Let's get you back down again. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Pretty close to, like, you know, ideal. Just have you come in there. We'll have you kind of curve like that. And we have a nice little highway connection between the two industrial regions. Just gotta check power. Oh, because of the elevated highway section there, it's having some problems. Okay, well that should hopefully help out with any shipping between the two wood regions. And then our new industrial region here, let's see, like, all the people that are going to work there are going to probably be coming from either this region, this region, this region. Like, they're going to have to somehow get on the highway. We'll work on, like, buses and maybe the metro even to get them over there here in a minute. But yeah, for now I'm going to take a break. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.